Ooh, Bad Larry.
Welcome everyone to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host Bad Larry and I'm so excited to present to you a special series I've been itching to review, Inferno. I can just imagine and remember as a young kid back in 1988, $1 was a lot. And to collect this whole series back then would have been about 40 bucks. That is $160 nowadays. That's crazy. Plus, we have the internet now to figure out the reading order. Back then, it was probably some teenager who was like, just get the ones that says Inferno, little dude. No help. Well, let's begin this epic adventure with part 1. Ignite Inferno from an Uncanny X-Men number 239, released in August 1988, written by Chris Claremont and drawn by Mark Silvestri. What a cover! Mr. Sinister with Madeline Pryor and Havoc in the palm of his hand, as he is a legit puppet master. I just received my Goblin Queen figure from Marvel Legends just yesterday in anticipation of this series. I get that the figure is based on the X-Men 97 rendition because that comic book version is too sexy. But boy, do I want this comic version. I may have to custom make one myself. Let me know if y'all would be interested in seeing that. After this issue, I promise I'm going to put the series reading order at the back of each episode, but I wanted to show you up front, this is going to be the next 40 episodes that we're going to present to you guys. The story begins with a radio host complaining of the unbearable heat in the city. If you've seen my last few X Factor videos, X Factor number 34 and 35, this heat wave is a common thread between the comics. And again, weird events are occurring. We overhear a lady reporting that a payphone just ate a man. We see some kids point out something interesting. The Empire State Building elevator shows they go up to floor 113, but it's only 102 floors tall. Buildings can't grow. Anyone catch that 13 reference? Some evil sorcery is afoot. Uh-oh, looks like the elevator has eaten the tourist family. Yikes! And the stoned out kid janitor was oblivious to it all. Dang, that's why I always take the stairs whenever I can, people. Ah, Mr. Sinister, you gotta love him and hate him. Mark Silvestri drew him very cool. His look is so iconic it has never really changed in 40 years. Mr. Sinister, much like Apocalypse, wants to kill all the humans, allowing mutants to be the only ones left on Earth. He is somewhat sad that the X-Men are dead, apparently. Well, we know they're in Australia, and can no longer battle against him. We also learn in Mr. Sinister's lair he has basically the first internet, giving him access to all information about everything at his command. Claremont was ahead of his time with this idea. This green-haired female interrupts Mr. Sinister's pity party of not being able to fight the X-Men anymore. Her name is Malice and was psychically connected to Polaris's body. Well, they can't be disconnected from each other, at least right now. Mr. Sinister says he thought that might happen. I guess the two are just too compatible. Well, Malice doesn't like that response and launches an attack on Mr. Sinister. Bad idea. Mr. Sinister has too much control of his little science experiment beings. Malice is powerless against Sinister. However, he tells her she can still roam around, possess others, but the body of Polaris is now her permanent home. Sinister tells her she's his favorite and just made her stronger. Malice falls for his words. Mr. Sinister is like a real pimp. But Sinister literally says he has no heart. He don't love those hoes. Sinister uses whatever intel and weakness he can to dominate you, control you, and even destroy you. He is a real sadist. Wow, a comic within a comic. Vanities, the prologue to Inferno, starring the Uncanny X-Men. Out in the middle of nowhere, Australia, Dazzler, aka Allison Blair, is on the man prowl. That dress should reel him in easy. Looks like she's walked into a real sausage fest hootenanny. Dazzler takes the stage with long shot watching, admiring from the shadows, and does what she does best. dazzles. Dazzler is in peak performance. You can't tell me that one frame doesn't look exactly like Taylor Swift belting out some high notes. Anyway, one song after another. It's like Nirvana. Mr. Sinister snaps his little crystal figurine of her. What does that do? I guess nothing. Sinister is now reminiscing over Havoc. So much potential. Alex Summers has memories that he cannot outrun. He feels responsible for killing his friends. He's tormented by the past. Alex is all messed up in the head. He doesn't want to become a berserker of rage like Wolverine, but he can't muster the energy to party with Dazzler and Longshot. It's sick they have Alex in a relationship sexually with Madeline Pryor. First, that's his brother's wife and mother of Scott's son. Second, she's an obvious clone of Jean Grey. You can't have both brothers smashing the same girl, basically. Now, Mr. Sinister moves his fixation onto Storm. He loves her strength and self-assurance. Storm is a leader, but do her followers even trust her? Storm just realizes Marvel Girl, Jean Grey, is alive. Gotta go get Wolverine, because remember, he killed her. Well, he thought he killed her clone during the Dark Phoenix saga. Storm puts Wolverine in the Tornado of Fury blender. How could Wolverine know Jean Grey was alive and not tell Storm? That was her best friend. Yikes! That's some payback. Dropping Wolverine from the heavens, knowing he will heal, but it'll hurt like hell though. Storm's tough. She's toying with him now. Caught him in the nick of time, only because she's got more questions. Wolverine caught Jean Grey's scent a while back, but didn't tell anyone because it drove him crazy. Wolverine only had his senses to go off on. The scent was Jean Grey, sure, but there was no trace of the Phoenix Force either. Weird to him. How could he have known it was a clone he killed? He didn't know how to process the information his senses were giving him. He just wasn't sure. Now Mr. Sinister moves on to Psylocke. I really personally love this costume for her, even more than Jim Lee's version. Apparently, she is someone Mr. Sinister didn't get to know so well. He called Psylocke a wild card. Excellent warrior to boot. She is able to best both Rogue and Colossus 1v2, even if it was just in training. Interesting. I forgot that during this time period, Rogue had two psyches in her head. Hers and Carol Danvers, aka Miss Marvel, whom she stole her powers from, and apparently Psyche as well. This Carol Danvers is vindictive. She doesn't like losing to Psylocke and does her dirty by sneaking in an unauthorized touch. I just realized I've seen this image or drawing of Psylocke coming out of the water before. It's from the Jim Lee Psylocke. Jim Lee must have been paying homage to this drawing. I ain't mad at him for it either. It's like the same. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Which one you like better, Mark Silvestri's or Jim Lee version of Psylocke coming out of the water? Sinister called Madeline Pryor his pride and joy, his first and best clone puppet, I guess he's referring to, but now considers her a waste. Sinister as well. Sinister. We cut to Alex Summers, all in his head. The love of his life, Polaris, suddenly transforms into Malice, the marauder villain. His mind backs away and settles on dancing with Madeline Pryor. What a creep. No wonder Cyclops has always had beef with Havoc. He deserves it. But Cyclops ain't no saint either, let's be honest. Madeline appears from Havoc's dream and manifests into actual physical reality somehow. Alex has to take a step back. Common courtesy kicks in. She is his brother's wife, for gosh sakes. Dang! Madeline Pryor gets Alex with the "I didn't leave Scott, he left me" bit. And the marriage is over. Might as well get some feel-good in. She puts the max level of Sigma Riz on Alex, and it looks like they're about to travel to Pound Town. Wow! Mr. Sinister doesn't get too emotional over mistakes or losses. The guy never dies. He keeps living on and on through his science. So he looks to the little babies as the next round of practice makes perfect. Sicko! Mr. Sinister believes Cyclops' baby, little Nathan Christopher Summers, will help him achieve his goal, destroying all humanity. Noster, the demon, has a similar goal, world domination. Wow, Madeline Pryor just hit it and quit it. We see Noster, the demon, called Madeline Pryor the Goblin Queen, and she wants her son back as well. Man, everyone is after that little fella. Madeline Pryor plays no games. Get ready to start a fire. Next episode, we strike the match. Stay tuned for part 2 of Inferno coming tomorrow. Leave a like for this episode, subscribe so you never miss an episode, and have an awesome day. Peace. Enjoy the statue of Madeline Pryor.